heard that ROG is introducing a new gaming phone. Let's check it out.
Hello everyone! Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the ROG Phone 6 launch event. We are excited to share details of this impressive new phone with you. This year's new ROG Phone 6 series represents the ultimate in gaming smartphones, built to deliver truly incredible and immersive experiences. We are thrilled to announce our two new models, the ROG Phone 6 and the ROG Phone 6 Pro. This new generation phone is equipped with an exciting array of features, including Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 5G mobile platform. To tell you more about this incredible boost in performance, I would like to introduce our longtime partner, Chris Patrick, SVP and GM of the Mobile Handset Division at Qualcomm.
Thank you, SY. My name is Chris Patrick. I'm the Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Mobile Handset Division at Qualcomm. It's wonderful to be a part of the latest ROG launch, and I'm thrilled to see so many Snapdragon experiences come to life in this device. Qualcomm recently announced Snapdragon Pro Series, one of the preeminent mobile esports tournaments in the world. The top esports competitors demand the best tools to get the ultimate performance. And the ROG Phone 6 and 6 Pro, both powered by the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 mobile platform, deliver exactly what players need. This premium tier powerhouse accelerates gameplay with boosted power and performance, including the Qualcomm Cryo CPU, fueling peak speeds up to 3.2 gigahertz, and the Qualcomm Adreno GPU, pumping out a 50% increase in peak performance when compared with the Snapdragon 888, which powers the epic ROG Phone 5. Beyond just benchmark numbers, this platform also delivers unrivaled gameplay. Snapdragon Elite Gaming provides a best-in-class experience for both developers and gamers worldwide. Developers have the tools they need to create expansive, captivating environments with breakthrough features implemented across all games and genres. Gamers are transported to these lifelike worlds for total immersion like they've never experienced before. And now, players can game from nearly anywhere with full throttle connectivity. Dive into multiplayer action, fast game downloads, remarkable 5G cloud gaming capabilities. We are truly grateful for our long-standing relationship with ROG, and we look forward to future collaborations delivering more premium gaming experiences to consumers.
Thank you, Chris. It is always great to have you with us. Now, without further ado, let's welcome Sasha to provide in-depth details about the new ROG Phone 6 and ROG Phone 6 Pro.
Thank you, SY. Now, let me walk you through the key specs and features of this mobile powerhouse. Let's start with the most obvious part first, the looks. The design of the ROG Phone 5 was very well received, so we kept the same futuristic sci-fi design language, but made some small tweaks to it. As you can see, there are several refinements and fresh details that allow our latest ROG phone to stand out from the crowd while at the same time looking sophisticated and well built. It not only looks sleek and well built, it definitely feels the part too, and is very ergonomic and comfortable to hold, especially in landscape orientation. Now let's look at the lineup, which is very straightforward. You can choose between the black or white version, or go for the ROG Phone 6 Pro with that colorful RGB ROG Vision secondary display on the back of the phone. All right, now that we have the design and looks out of the way, let's dig into my favorite part, the specs. This has always been our biggest strength and something our ROG phones have been excelling in since the very first OG ROG phone oh so many years ago. We are giving our partners at Qualcomm, Samsung, and others more than just an occasional headache, constantly asking for more performance, higher clocks, more and faster storage and memory, higher refresh rates, and pushing everything to the limit. So now let me tell you about our ROG Phone philosophy. What sets ROG phones apart from regular phones, which usually prioritize slim and lightweight designs. We focus on and prioritize performance, thermals, the display, improved input, and system control. So let's go through these points one by one. Performance is the most obvious, and as Chris Patrick made clear, Qualcomm has our back here and continues to be an incredible partner in our strive to unlock their SoC's full potential. We all want the same impressive graphics on our phones as on PCs and consoles, and we want the same FPS, and we want it anywhere, anytime, lag-free. The 6 series of our ROG phones naturally sport the latest flagship SoC from Qualcomm, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, made with the latest 4 nanometer process. Its 8-core CPU can run it up to 3.2 gigahertz, and with up to 18 gigabytes of DDR5 memory and half a terabyte of UFS 3.1 flash storage, it's approaching the specs of laptops and even desktops. It not only delivers around 10% more performance than the current non-Plus Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, it is up to 30% more power efficient for higher sustained clocks, lower temperatures, and longer battery life.
With this top-of-the-line Snapdragon chip and all those impressive specs, unsurprisingly, this is what you get: record-breaking performance. An Antutu score of 1.1 million is 10% higher than competitors.
And now, let's look at what this all translates to when doing what this is all about: playing some games and having a blast.
Look at those Genshin Impact results. The ROG Phone 6 not only performs better with a rock-solid 60 FPS, but runs at only 44 degrees for a double kill, beating competitors in both performance and temperatures.
In a phone, you're limited not just by size and weight, but power and thermals. Most phones prioritize slim, lightweight designs and sacrifice performance. Clearly, that wouldn't make sense for an ROG phone. Power is definitely not something we ever compromised on with our dual battery pack design with a whopping 6,000 milliampere hours. The only thing holding us back is thermals, the final boss battle. And this is the toughest and most difficult challenge to overcome, since there isn't a single trick for getting rid of heat. So we threw everything we have at it and attacked it from multiple angles. As you're about to find out, we're taking phone cooling to a whole new level with the ROG Phone 6. The graphics quality and gaming experience mobile phone games have been able to achieve in the last few years is absolutely mind-blowing. And I think it's fair to say that smartphone games have caught up with PC and console titles. But to experience these titles to their fullest, they can be incredibly demanding and bring even flagship phones to their thermal knees, so to say, with FPS dropping after only 5 to 10 minutes and the game starting to lag and stutter. Just using the latest and greatest chips isn't enough. The performance gap between the best and worst implementations of the exact same mobile SoC has grown significantly. More and more phones now adopt vapor chambers and graphite sheets. This is nothing new for ROG phones. To push even further, we had to take a step back and think outside of the box. There are 3 common scenarios: launching an app or playing a quick 10 to 15-minute match whenever you have a short break or a friend sends you an invite, playing for around half an hour up to 45 minutes when you have a bit more time, maybe during your lunch break or when commuting, and those serious game sessions when you play for at least an hour and possibly for several hours on end. Each of these is incrementally more difficult to deal with when it comes to cooling the SoC. With ROG GameCool 6, we came up with several solutions to improve thermals and, as a result, performance in each of those scenarios. For the first 10 to 15 minutes of gaming, the most important thing is to transfer heat away from the SoC itself in order to keep it running at full speed. We developed a unique 360-degree CPU cooling technology to complete this mission. Traditionally, we only use a vapor chamber to cool the chipset directly. We tried for years to find effective ways to cool the SoC from both sides, But this is incredibly challenging because the circuit board sits right on top of the radio frequency board. There has to be a gap between these two parts to avoid signal interference, and placing a solid piece of copper or filling it with thermal grizzly liquid metal, for example, sadly wouldn't work. And because of how the phone gets assembled, it's extremely difficult to add or insert some thermal pad or conductor during assembly. But after years of trial and error, we finally found a clever way to inject thermal compound during the assembly process to fill this air gap between the two PCB boards and cool the Snapdragon chips from both sides. We don't want to go into too many details because we don't want to tip off our competitors, but we were able to inject over 3 grams, almost completely filling the air gap under the SoC. And we developed a special thermal compound based on boron nitride, which is commonly used in airplanes and electric cars. It's chemically non-reactive, doesn't conduct electricity, doesn't interfere with wireless signals, is liquid enough to inject, but solid enough to stay in place after assembly is complete. And it's extremely durable and lasts for several years. As you can see, during heavy loading, the boron nitride compound is able to lower temperatures by up to 10 degrees. This ingenious trick essentially doubles the surface area of the SoC, which allows us to remove heat more effectively and run the chipset at the highest possible clock speeds. After around 15 minutes, you then get to the next challenge of cooling a flagship phone. Now it's about spreading that heat to as much of the entire phone as possible to then dissipate it. This is where having the SoC sit right smack in the middle of the phone comes in really handy. We already used a huge vapor chamber in the ROG Phone 5 series, but this time around we managed to increase the size of the vapor chamber by an additional 30%, so heat can be moved faster and go to all corners and sides of the phone. And the 2 graphite sheets are now almost twice as large as what we used in the previous generation. With both of these improvements and the centered SoC, we're able to dissipate and spread out heat much faster and efficiently. So we can maintain those high clocks, which means higher and more stable FPS. Our centered SoC design has several benefits. You get lower temperatures and extra performance. Your fingers don't rest right on top of the SoC, making the phone more comfortable to hold. And it allows us to place an external cooling system right center on top of the SoC on the back of the phone to boost cooling even further. If you're eyeing a gaming phone, chances are you're probably interested in playing for a lot longer than 30 minutes though. But there's no way to just hack physics. No matter how quickly you can spread heat, a phone only has a limited surface area to then dissipate that heat. If you want to run your chipset at its highest performance settings, eventually it is going to warm up. That's why in our default dynamic mode, we prioritize surface temperatures to keep the phone comfortable to hold. But what if you want all the eye candy, every extra frame, zero lag, run the chipset at full speed all the time, and all of this with the lowest possible temperatures? Well, we got you covered. This is where our active cooling solution comes in, and it too received a massive upgrade. Thanks to the boron nitride thermal compound, we now get direct access to remove heat from the SoC through the back of the phone for some extreme active cooling. Our brand new Aeroactive Cooler 6 not only gives you a significant performance boost, but improved comfort. It uses a thermoelectric cooling module, also known as a Peltier element. Well, this isn't a physics hack, it sure sounds like one. When you connect strips of some very specific metal alloys, such as bismuth telluride, and run electricity through them, one side gets hot while the other side gets cold. The TEC actively pulls heat straight out of the phone, resulting in the most comfortable and smooth gaming experience possible. It drops temperatures on the back of the ROG Phone 6 by an incredible 25 degrees. I still remember playing around with TECs to cool some CPUs and graphics cards to sub-zero temperatures back around 20 years ago. While sub-zero temperatures sound cool, you don't want humidity condensating on or even inside your phone. In a sense, our brand new Aeroactive Cooler is too powerful, and we actually have to throttle it back with a dedicated sensor. The AI cooling system on the ROG Phone 6 adjusts the TEC dynamically to avoid temperatures from getting too low. Let's say if you're playing a less demanding title or no game at all. The TEC then runs at a lower power or is switched off entirely. Once you attach our Aeroactive Cooler 6, you now unlock a brand new mode, X Mode Plus. In X Mode Plus, you'll be able to run both CPU and GPU at higher clocks consistently for over an hour, something you simply wouldn't be able to do without this level of cooling.
Looking at the graphs, you can see an FPS and temperature log of a 16-minute Genshin Impact run, and the ROG Phone 6 clearly stands out here. It runs at a rock-solid 60 FPS, and thanks to the Aeroactive Cooler 6, the warmest spot on the back of the phone is only 37 degrees, or your skin temperature. In other words, it doesn't even feel warm.
No lag, no stutter, you get a stable high frame rate for smooth and immersive experience, even during sessions that last several hours. Thanks to the Aeroactive Cooler 6, you'll be able to unleash the full performance of the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So to wrap it up, no matter if it's a quick match, a lunch break, or you're going on a raid or an adventure for several hours, the ROG Phone 6 has a notable edge over other flagship phones out there. And there's another big upgrade. 120 Hz has finally gone mainstream on smartphones. So we are stepping up the game and are proud to be the first to push Samsung AMOLED panels to a jaw-dropping 165 Hz refresh rate. You won't miss a single frame the Qualcomm SoC can pump out. And the touch sampling rate is now increased to 720 Hz to precisely and instantly sense every tap and swipe. Look at a quick comparison between 120 and 165 Hz here. It's a whole new experience and looks incredibly smooth, especially if you're already used to 165 Hz on your ROG gaming monitor or ROG laptop. If you think that's overkill, well, you can set the refresh rate to 60, 90, 120, 144, or 165 Hz. More options, more better, right? And you'd rather run the panel that's faster than the game you're playing than the other way around. And if you're wondering on what games are able to exceed 144 Hz, well, we're working closely with dozens of developers and we'll share a list with you very soon. The combination of that high-performance chipset delivering high FPS, that 165 Hz refresh rate, and the 720 Hz sampling rate result in the lowest possible input latency. As a result, you get the smoothest possible experience and can be assured your phone definitely won't hold you back in competitive games. While the touchscreen is the primary input on phones, when playing games, there is a huge benefit from having buttons that aren't using up screen space. So we refined our air trigger system on the ROG Phone 6, and besides the ultrasonic buttons on top of the phone, there are 9 different gestures you can map to different input actions. Just like on the ROG Phone 5, you can flick the phone up or down to reload, for example, just like in arcades or with VR controllers. And the ultrasonic buttons can now execute 2 commands. One when you press down and another when you lift your finger. For example, gun sights when you're putting your finger down and shooting when you lift your finger up. Or crouching when putting your finger down and jumping when you lift your finger up. On the ROG Phone 6, you can now use the Gyroscope to look around as well. Just press and hold one of the ultrasonic buttons and you can then look around naturally. This almost turns first-person games into a bit of an AR experience. And in mobile games, you can adjust the viewing angle or zoom by tilting your phone. Neat! Warning. This is the perfect moment to demonstrate how our Aeroactive Cooler 6 gives you a boost when you need it the most. Aeroactive Cooler 6, engage! All right, let's have a closer look at our Aeroactive Cooler 6 because it does more than give you a speed and performance boost. It features a futuristic, ergonomic sci-fi design that perfectly matches the ROG Phone 6 with a strong black and white contrast that looks good on both the white and the black version of our latest phone. The logo is naturally RGB and Aura Sync compatible, so you can customize it or just turn it off. On the back, you get 4 physical tactile buttons that are arranged to let you control each of them precisely without losing grip of the phone itself. We actually used the most popular console gamepads as a reference, and we went through dozens of mock-ups together with our focus groups to refine the location and feel of the buttons. And just like on the previous version, there's a built-in kickstand for watching movies or using an external gamepad, such as our ROG Kunai. and I know a lot of you guys will love this. There's finally a Moonlight White version. You can either attach the kunai to the sides of the phone or use it as a standalone gamepad. And it works great not just on your phone, but your PC or laptop too. Having tactile buttons and D-pads really adds a lot to immersion. To improve the tactile and haptic feedback on the ROG Phone 6 itself, we upgraded our X-axis linear vibration motor, which now features stronger, smoother, and more precise feedback. On the Pro version of the ROG Phone 6, you get our customizable RGB ROG Vision secondary display. You can create your own animations and customize your phone with different images, animations, and text. There are 6 different scenarios. It can notify you of incoming calls, display some animations that match whichever game you're currently playing, or display some system information. And there are now dozens of those ROG Vision animations for you to choose from, and we continue to add more. On the standard ROG Phone 6, you get an Aura RGB LED logo centered on the back, which can be illuminated in 2 different colors simultaneously. You can make it glow in any color you want and make it flash or change color based on different scenarios. So it's more than just for looks, it's actually pretty helpful. And on both the Pro and standard ROG Phone 6, we have our Dare to Play slogan that lights up too. And this is a fan favorite, we have even more animated theme packs coming out very soon. And yes, these will be coming to our older models too. And for those of you who may not know, our theme packs are game-themed wallpapers, lock screens, app icons, and even sound effects that let you customize your phone to match your favorite game title.
We are incredibly excited and proud to announce close partnerships with some of the biggest players in mobile game development. While we can't go into details yet, I hope we can come up with exclusive theme packs for ROG Phone 6. Some giveaways and maybe in-game ROG exclusives? Fingers crossed.
Waterproofing gaming phones is extremely challenging, especially on our ROG phones with those 2 massive speakers. But we managed to make all new ROG Phone 6 models splash resistant, so you won't have to worry about getting caught in the rain. The ROG Phone 6 series comes with our brand new Army Crate app with a simplified UI. It's the same as on our laptops and desktop PCs. Creating and customizing scenario profiles is now even easier and more intuitive. So as soon as you launch a certain app, not only games but regular apps too, you can automatically switch to a specific performance mode. Our ROG Game Genie got a revamped UI too to match that new Army Crate design. It now looks a bit like an in-game HUD or spaceship control panel that lets you quickly toggle key features on and off and keep an eye on system status. Our ROG Edge tool lets you quickly access a couple of key apps by swiping inwards from the right to launch and switch between your favorite apps on the fly without having to bring up the app menu on Android. This also means that you can do a picture-in-picture mode while playing mobile games. So texting someone while battling has never been easier. We also integrated Qualcomm's Adreno control panel, which allows you to adjust graphics settings just like on a PC or laptop, from anti-aliasing to anisotropic filtering and texture quality. So you can play an older title and max out the eye candy, or set everything to low and get the highest possible FPS in competitive shooters. Thanks to Auto VRS, or Variable Rate Shading, you can get a significant boost in performance by lowering the rendering details in parts of the game you don't really notice to begin with. This too can be toggled on and off in Army Crate. Our 6,000 mAh monster battery pack and our compact and lightweight 65-watt hypercharge adapter are a great combo for on-the-go gaming and keep your phone powered and charged up. And not just your phone, it works great with all our ROG peripherals and even laptops. When gaming with the charger plugged in, most phones push the power through the battery and then to the system. This can severely impact the battery's lifetime. On our ROG phones instead, we use bypass charging, which powers the phone directly. Steady charging lets you control the charging speed and lets you choose if and when to use quick charge. And our alarm clock charging integration makes it so your phone only charges to 100% right before you wake up. All of these advanced features result in exceptional battery life and an extended battery lifespan. We were the first to bring a side charging port to phones, and naturally the ROG Phone 6 still has it. Wireless screen mirroring is great, but adds quite a lot of lag when playing games. That's why this high port supports HDMI, so you can play your favorite games on a big TV or even a projector with minimum input lag. Turning to the camera, Sony's brand new IMX766 sensor is notably larger, which allows each pixel to capture 40% more light. And that results in less noise and a big improvement in low light and high contrast HDR scenarios. As a result, the camera bump is a little larger, but that's a small trade-off for the much improved image quality. And no worries, the ultra-wide and macro cameras are still there. Almost everyone underestimates how much more immersive gaming is with good audio. Thanks to our direct optimized game effects sound system, you get immersive audio and punchy lows no matter if you're using the built-in speakers or headphones. And thanks to Qualcomm's aptX adaptive codec and Snapdragon sounds, you get high-resolution audio and super low latency processing on wireless headphones. Like I mentioned earlier, the ROG Phone 6 comes with the same massive magnet speakers for incredibly loud and punchy stereo sound. It's the loudest and best sounding phone I've ever tried, and it outperforms even a lot of laptops on the market. And while everyone seems to abandon the 3.5mm audio jack, we know how important it is for you guys, so we're keeping it. All right, good people, as you can see, we kept all the good parts of the 5 series and tweaked and improved almost every aspect of our ROG Phone 6 series. From a 3.2 GHz 8-core CPU with 18 GB DDR5 memory and a 165 Hz Samsung AMOLED display, to a thermoelectric Peltier cooling system on the Aeroactive Cooler 6. At ROG, we continue to push everything to the limit and offer incredible specs that match or even beat laptops and PCs. We go to extreme lengths to offer you the best possible performance and experience in a smartphone. And the ROG Phone continues to hold the title as the most powerful phone you can find. But that's not all. We have a couple of really cool new accessories in store for you as well for the ultimate mobile phone gaming experience. Let me hand over to Chris.
Up next, we will hook mobile gamers up with the ultimate setup. We've constantly pushed the limits of innovation, and today, I'm proud to introduce our next generation gaming headphones, the ROG Cetra True Wireless Pro. They are the world's first dual-mode true wireless headphones featuring an ESS quad-deck and AI microphone to give you exceptional in-game audio and communication. The ROG Cetra True Wireless Pro redefines the capabilities of true wireless headphones, giving you the versatility and freedom to easily switch between wireless and wired USB Type-C modes. In Bluetooth mode, the ROG Cetra True Wireless Pro uses the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon sound technology to deliver a low latency connection and impeccable audio quality that surpasses most true wireless headphones in the market. It's widely known that latency is a common concern for traditional true wireless headphones, and we've addressed that with Cetra True Wireless Pro's one-touch low latency gaming mode. Simply fire up your game on ROG Phone 6 and gaming mode activates automatically for ultra-low latency 45 millisecond audio, giving you perfectly synced in-game sounds. You also don't have to worry about disturbing background noise because Cetra True Wireless Pro features active noise cancellation with multiple modes for reducing noises such as wind, background conversations, and more. Or for lag-free gaming, users can switch to wired mode, a unique inline audio optimizer with built-in ESS 9280 quad deck. Ensures exceptional audio with rich, detailed spatial sound so you can pinpoint the origin of enemies, footsteps, or gunfire. On top of that,
Hello there! What's up? Oh, I know about that headset. It's got a very cool AI noise-canceling microphone. I will start singing now and you can try it out. Good morning! Good morning! The sun is rising!
sure, let me put on the Cetra True Wireless Pro.
It's 9 o'clock. Knock, knock, knock.
Sounds much clearer, right? This inline AI noise-canceling microphone can eliminate up to 95% of background noise for crystal clear in-game communication. allowing you to stay on point for coordinated strikes or ambushes, along with providing lag-free sound and clear voice communication. Wired mode also allows you to keep playing or listening as your earbuds charge. In addition, I'd also like to mention that we offer the ROG Cetra True Wireless model for users who don't need a wired mode and advanced functions. Next, I'd like to present a headset from a series some of you may already be familiar with. The impressive performance of the Delta series gaming headset is well known, and we've heard that a lot of gamers are looking forward to the wireless version. So today, I'm thrilled to introduce the first dual-mode wireless ROG gaming headset, ROG Delta S Wireless. You can use it in either RF 2.4 GHz or Bluetooth mode, so it gives you more flexibility when connecting to your devices. Concealed AI beamforming microphones with AI noise cancellation create a focused acoustic zone to ensure impeccable voice pickup and reduce background noise for clear communication. With the Delta S Wireless, you will enjoy the freedom of hidden mics that don't compromise the quality of in-game communication. These features make it ideal for streaming and gaming. The Delta series also includes the Delta S Core, a lightweight 270-gram headset designed for extreme comfort. The ROG Cetra True Wireless, Delta S Wireless, and Delta S Core are already available in select countries. Cetra True Wireless Pro will be available soon. So there's no better time to upgrade to an ROG headset. Now we will take a look at a couple more accessories for ROG Phone 6. To protect your new ROG Phone 6, we've got a redesigned Aero case and glass screen protector. These two will prevent your ROG phone from scratches and bumps to keep it looking like new. The 0.16mm super slim glass screen protector is anti-fingerprint and has great touch sensitivity. It is virtually invisible and will protect your phone at all times without interfering with your gaming. If you're looking to push the ROG Phone 6 to its limits, then don't forget the Aeroactive Cooler 6 is a must-have gadget. It features an integrated thermoelectric AI cooling system to boost performance, and 4 physical buttons to improve your gaming experience. Great news! There will be a version of this cooler which can be used on the ROG Phone 5 and 5S models as well. And if you're looking for console-like levels of control, our kunai gamepad and gamepad bumper for ROG Phone 6 are ideal. The ROG Phone 6 has a diverse ecosystem of accessories to enhance your gaming experience. I hope you've enjoyed our overview of the ROG Phone 6 today. Let's hand back to SY now.
Thank you again for joining us today. This new generation of ROG phones and headphones built for gamers are boundary breaker. To meet the needs of all kinds of gamers, the ROG Phone 6 and 6 Pro come in different specifications. And now, we are ready to reveal the price of this new mobile gaming marvel. The ROG Phone 6 with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage will be available starting from €999. The ROG Phone 6 with 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage will be available starting from €1149. And the ROG Phone 6 Pro with 18 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage will be available starting from €1299. These models will be available worldwide soon, and I cannot wait for you to try it. And let us know what you think. Now, stay tuned as the ROG Phone 6 All-Star Show match is about to begin. I hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ROG Phone 6 launch event and obviously to the ROG Phone 6 All-Star Influential Show Match. My name is Felix, and I'm going to guide you through the evening for today. Obviously, and luckily, I'm not alone, though. I am joined by the beautiful, the one and only, the myth legend, the one with the beautiful voice, Tom Pickering. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much for the warm introduction, Felix, and it's an absolute pleasure. And obviously, the main reason we are here is to celebrate the ROG Phone 6 launch with this whole event. And, well, there you go. And it's got a bunch of cool features. But, you know what, Felix? You're a bit of a gamer yourself. You've played a lot of PUBG Mobile. What is one of the key features these phones need to have?
You may laugh at this now, but I'm going to tell you it's the freezer, right? It's the freezer. I've talked to a lot of pro players, now hear me out on this. Well, what happens is, if you play for hours on end, if you play for a longer time period, right, what happens is your phone heats up a lot. But with the ROG Phone 6, that might not be as big of a problem anymore, as it has a 360-degree cooling system. So I'm going to tell you the most important thing about this, in my opinion, and especially for the players out there that are watching right now, if you play for hours on end, you might have noticed this problem as well. This is going to help you. This 360-degree cooling system, it's the real deal.
It's practically a freezer in itself, isn't it?
It actually is, yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, it's not even just that. It has everything. I mean, if you want to get the max amount of, like, FPS and stability out of it, I know for me, that's super important whenever I'm playing games. I want to be able to make sure to play to my potential.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need a good platform to play on, and that's exactly what this phone is. But, I mean, it's just such a beast.
Just look at it. Honestly, the first time I looked at it, it kind of looked like a spaceship. It really is that way. I mean, take a look. It kind of looks like something out of a science fiction program, science fiction movie. It's crazy. It looks like a beast. It is a beast. That's probably the best summary of it.
It's a behemoth. There you go. That's a word that was thrown around before broadcast, and I was like, you know what? This word fits onto it fantastically. And obviously, when it comes to the gaming as well, it's not just about the stability and being able to play. That's all really important. So when it comes to this new phone, what is it bringing to the table that's new?
Well, there's plenty of things, and we're going to get into that the further we go into the progress. Obviously, we have a lot prepared for you, so stick around. But one more thing is the better performance. It's as simple as that. 15 to 20% on top of the ROG Phone 5, which is already still very much up to standard. It launched a little bit over a year ago, and you still have a performance increase that is tremendous. 15 to 20% on top of what the ROG Phone 5 already has, which is crazy. So you can be prepared to not have any kind of performance issues with that phone. I'm going to guarantee that.
Yeah, well, to test the performance, we have 14 amazing influencers from around the world,
yes,
different countries, and we're going to be seeing them play through 30 minutes of action. And that's not even the best part of today.
Oh no, just for your information, the games we're seeing today are being played from obviously influencers from all around the world. And the best thing about this, they actually do play on the new ROG Phone 6 that you see in the background right there. So yeah, the best thing about this, they have the phone in their hands. You will see it in their face cams and their webcams in the live streams. And I know I'm jealous when I see them playing with a phone. I bet you are too. And to maybe be a little bit less jealous, you can get your hands on one of the ROG Phone 6s as well. Asus was kind enough to sponsor 3 of the phones. All you need to do is to join the giveaway. And to do that, you type in chat, right? Hashtag ROG Phone 6 is what you need to type in the chat, and then followed by hashtag the influencer that you think is going to win the All-Star Influencer Show Match for today.
Well, talking about the influencers, let's get into who is going to be playing today. Who are the teams? Because we have 2 different teams of 7. First up, it's going to be Team Frying Pan. And, well, to represent the best of the best from the UK, we have no one else than Storman, and also on screen, a.k.a. Craig, who's also previously played in one of the show matches last year for the ROG Phone 5 release. So I'm interested to see how he's going to perform today. And he also used to be a CSGO pro player back in the day as well for 4 Kings.
Now, you talked about your representation of UK. I can talk about the German representation. I'm from Germany, obviously, and joining us today for the Influencer Show Match will be Rumatra and Master Tay. 2 very interesting streamers. They don't really have too much alike in terms of the games they play. Rumatra obviously being very kind of first-person shooters as well, so he has that kind of experience. But Master Tay, on the other hand, he's not the only one for today, but he's one of the very few that mainly plays role-playing games. And I've talked about it. I'm not so sure if that experience transitions over to the PUBG Mobile Show Match we have for today, but it's going to be interesting seeing them.
Well, maybe you can walk up to those opponents and start talking to them and distracting them a little bit as they start to play. We also have a Swedish team coming in, or not team rather, Gyro joining in on this first team, and it is going to be Annette and also Kevstar, two fantastic players. And Kevstar going to be another player who played last year in the ROG Phone 5 show match. So we've got quite a few of these coming in here who've got previous experience, who know how to play PUBG Mobile. And I'm a little bit worried about these other players who don't have this experience there. So it's going to be a lot of pressure. Interested to see if they're going to be able to follow it up with a win.
Now completing this team Frying Pan, the first team that we are showing you for today is going to be a streamer from Denmark, actually. Marcos HD is going to be joining us as well. He's one of the biggest Danish streamers in the scene. Third most viewed Danish streamer, actually, that we have joining us today for Team Frying Pan. And he's, as I said he's a representative from the Scandinavian countries, Denmark to be exact. Going to be interesting to see him as well in this first team, Team Frying Pan.
You'd love to see it. And following up with that, we also have Team Chicken Dinner.
First two players are going to be coming in from France. It's going to be Chow H1 and Oraxi, two very experienced Battle Royale players. I think that is actually, in terms of raw Battle Royale experience, one of the strongest teams, I guess, one of the strongest nationalities that we have joining us for today. Oraxi obviously being a professional player in Apex Legends and PUBG, and he's amassed quite a few hours, I guess you can say, in shooters in general. And joining him is going to be Chow, also one of the best Warzone streamers and just a household name in itself. Like, everyone knows him. He's mechanically incredibly gifted. But once again, we are playing on mobile. We are playing on a phone. So we'll see how well that transitions. I'm going to be very interested to see these two players, pop it off today, hopefully.
Following up with that, we obviously have Italy. A fantastic place. Obviously, if you haven't been, go check it out. And if not, maybe go and watch Moonride or Berry TV, two of the players who are going to be joining us today on that Team Chicken Dinner. I'm interested to see if they're going to be able to bring it home themselves. They have lots of experience in Call of Duty, one being an ex-professional player for Fnatic back in the day, and then also one being a streamer with one of the highest KDs in Call of Duty as well.
Next up, we have two players coming in from Poland, two also very known streamers. That is going to be Blackfire Ice and Bonkol. And I do have to highlight Bonkol here especially because he's one of the few streamers that does have PUBG experience as well. Right, we talk about it. That is going to be an advantage, right? If you know the right kinds of weapons, the kind of movement mechanics, to some degree, it is going to make a difference. I'm 100% certain on that. So Bonko's probably going to be one of the players to watch here for Team Chicken Dinner.
I think so too. And then to finish it all off, we have the last player from, obviously, the Nordic countries, the Scandinavian countries. It is going to be Valum, who in his own right is an absolute beast. And he, saved the best for last, some people say, and I'm excited to see what he is going to be able to bring to the table. And his team name is Team Chicken Dinner, so maybe that's a bit of a sign of things to come. That's going to be an interesting fight between all these teams.
Oh yes, Team Frying Pan against Team Chicken Dinner. Being played, it's going to be Team Deathmatch, by the way.
It's first to 80 kills, two teams diving at it. Obviously, there's only a limited amount of points available on the server, and although they're playing with each other as teams, technically they're playing by themselves to try and get as many kills as possible to win you, at home, one of your very own ROG Phone 6.
First game objective is going to be scoring that 80 kill mark. But then again, you already said it, it is going to be, well, it's going to be a little bit different with the teams, right? Because everyone is essentially fighting for their own way of getting... what are we seeing here? I do have to interrupt that.
They're just going to be camping in the corner.
Okay.
This is definitely on-screen tactics.
Yeah.
He's just like, if we just all sit in the corner, we're going to get the most amount of points.
Yeah, I don't want to... Voice comms of Team Frying Pan is probably going to be very interesting, isn't it? Well, Team Chicken Dinner is using because Team Frying Pan is in the corner, but they're getting slaughtered right now. The communication is perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's falling. Stormin on screen, the last one's alive. Team UK, but he's being eliminated as well. So there we have it, 7-7 current scoreline. Didn't work out as planned, but it didn't work out terribly either.
I would say I think Stormin was fairly smart. He got 3 kills. The rest of his teammates got very little, so he's going to be looking fairly good. But Molan, the INET, he's managed to pick himself up for Orax. Oh, I'm really excited to see which one of these players is going to be able to pick up and go off on one. I mean, Stormin, he's at the 4 mark at the moment. On the other side, we've got 6 kills on there.
Wow, do you see that? Can you take a look at the webcam right now? Bottom right corner. Is that on screen in a PUBG sweater? Has he prepared for this?
That's a Christmas PUBG jacket as well. So respect, especially with how hot it is at the moment. He must have good AC. Meanwhile, we see Master Tay. Let's see if he can roleplay his way into a couple of kills there. He's managed to get 1 kill, though.
Let's hope it's going to be a little bit more than that. He does seem to have problems to really get these long-range shots in. But then again, he isn't the most experienced player, I guess you could say. He isn't totally up to some of the competitive experience we have in that squad and also in the enemy squad. For example, Stormen, and he's already on 8 frags. Are you kidding me? Stormen! What is happening?
He just got legendary on there. He could go absolutely huge on this front. So he's just got a big combo. Excited to see what he's going to be able to do on from there.
Do you see that? Ramacha. You see the way he plays. Look at his handling. He's probably focused as he's never been before. He's absolutely staring at the screen and looks like he's having a lot of fun as well.
And I think it's obviously important to say that Ramatra is actually Wylan and Welted. So just keep in mind, I don't know why he's got that name. So let's move onwards and upwards. Dario, can't quite work out which player that is, but Berry, he's on 4 kills. Dario's managed to get 8 kills. I'm interested to see if Berry's going to be able to do anything here. Hopefully we can switch away from that viewpoint and see Mr. Chow, one of the guys we hyped up, him and Oryx. How are they both doing?
Both coming in from France, actually. What does he do? Is he trying to knife him? There's no knife in this one. Chow, please! Yeah, get him. I actually think he got taken down before he could even get that frag. It doesn't look like it's going to work out for him. Unfortunately, Chow, he's still on 4 frags, though. That is not too shabby, especially since Stormen is only, let's say, only is probably the wrong word, but it's at least catchable. But Stormen is on 13. Once again, we have to highlight that. Stormen, he's going through this lobby. He's literally storming through here.
Storming through it and taking no prisoners at all. Molan, he's holding down this side lane, but unfortunately for him, he will get shot in the back. But his teammate's going to be able to take care of them. And he's looking to see, like, well, who is shooting me? Let's switch on from his perspective, though. Currently, we have 40 kills left on either side, fairly much around the mark if we just round them up. Marcos looking to chime in, but unfortunately, he's going to get shut down by, obviously, that player. And he's going to be diving straight back into the action, trying to see if he can get some kills himself on screen. He's only got 1 kill. That bigs him up as one of the players to watch out for.
Yeah. Especially after the kind of start they had. Only having 5 eliminations, it's... I don't know if he's going to be too happy about that one. Oraxi and, well, Dario especially are going to be the ones from Team Chicken Dinner that are doing the best they can to catch up to Stormen. Currently, he's on 15 eliminations. And who else is there? Well, Oraxi, I mean, we don't really have to talk about him too much. He's got that, competitive experience. And I think the way he positions himself, you can see it very clearly here. He's definitely taking a very smart approach. Not too aggressive, but he's playing around that middle part, and it seems to be working out quite well for him. Not as aggressive as Stormen, who's on 16 at the moment, but he is putting in work for his team.
Yeah, well, we're 56 to 47 at the moment. Remember, objective is 80 kills for a single team. And although that count is going up for every single kill that everyone on their team gets, it's really about the individual plays that matter. So Stormen being able to get 70 kills is huge. While Welted, getting 7 kills is really big for himself as we move on through. They've obviously all got the same loadout. They come to some kind of gentleman's agreement outside of the game, said, let's all use the same guns. Let's be respectful here.
Yeah, Scarrel is going to be the weapon of choice apparently here. I would have loved to see something different, but, at least it's even playing field. Not only with the weapons, but also with the phones. Once again, everyone at home is playing with the ROG Phone 6 that has just come out. So once again, I mean, that's obviously why we're here. But check out the specifications. It's crazy. Honestly, like these players, I've said it before, they are the even playing field. It doesn't get better than that. Honestly, especially with PUBG Mobile in this 7v7, normally it's an 88 map, but in this scenario as well, you have an incredibly clean and smooth game. And, well, Tom, we're already nearing us towards that 80 kill mark.
Yeah, we've only got 6 kills left. We'll soon hear through our headphones the announcement. There you go. Enemy has 5 kills left, and Orax, he's looking to catch up. They're going to be 17 kills behind in total, but Stormen, he's on 23. One absolute banger.
That's just inhuman.
Inhuman, indeed. I'm excited to see if anyone else can pick up the kills before the end of this game. I mean, the other side, highest is 17 kills. That's pretty good, but not good enough. You're going to have to do a lot better. Final kill, who's going to be taking this one home? It is going to be no one else than on screen, if I'm correct in saying on that last shot.
I think so, yeah. So
10 kills! He managed to get a 10 combo. Stormen.
What? That's a 10 killing spree. Well, Team Frying Pan definitely starting off really well. 80 to 67 is going to be the ending scoreline. And, I mean, who else to highlight than Stormen? Wow. It wasn't quite as much as double the kills as the second place has, but it's gotten very close to that.
yeah, you have to give it a mass amount of respect, because obviously these players aren't professional mobile phone gamers or players. They don't always stream mobile games, but coming on, you can see that obviously with a fantastic device like this phone, the ROG, you're going to have a really big advantage of being able to get used to it and have the like every kind of specification on it you want to. And when we're talking about this phone, obviously for ourselves, we're looking at a screen. How important is it for the quality of the screen and the refresh rate for game players?
So that's a very common question I always get asked. And I do have to say, there's this common misconception, I feel like, that more FPS equals a smoother game. But there is a certain threshold. And how to break that threshold is through refresh rate, essentially. Refresh rate, in the end, does create the smoothness you kind of want to experience. And that's, for me at least, the thing I'd be looking at the most when buying a phone. And the ROG Phone 6, well, it's got the best of the best. It's got 165, you're hearing correctly, it's got 165 hertz display. That is mental. Honestly, that is crazy. It will give you the smoothness, this sharp and precise feeling of your inputs being directly realized and being shown on screen. And that is something that you don't get from I want to say, almost no other phone on the market right now. So ROG Phone 6, once again, specifications are just absolutely mental. Sorry, there's no other word.
What a behemoth in the industry. Absolutely beauty.
Yes.
And when it comes to it as well, I mean, I have a 144 hertz screen at home. I know you can call me a pleb, but this phone has a better screen than mine. Refresh rate it's an absolute beast. And I mean, I was talking about this earlier with you, how important the gyroscope is if you're a game player playing these kind of mobile games, if you're an esports player even more so. But how does that come into play? Why is it so important?
So that's actually a very interesting topic, because that's something I didn't initially know when I got into the mobile space first. So how the professional players actually spray in first-person shooters like PUBG Mobile is they use the gyroscope to control the recoil, something that to me initially was very unintuitive, right? I was wondering, how does that even work? But if you look closely, you can see it on the best of the best players, Paraboy, for example, but a lot of other esports athletes, and it's almost 100% right across the board. Everyone uses it, is the gyroscope, once again. So the sensors in this ROG Phone 6 are perfectly designed to give the best amount of not only stability, but also the preciseness, right? It's incredibly precise. You can spray very easily with it, and that's what it comes down to. That's what decides in the end whether or not you can get the kill or not, and that's why this phone is so great.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm guessing that's one of the reasons why Storman was able to get so many kills, 25 kills, 10 in a row. Have to give him massive props. I kind of, blurred past him when I went on to talk about on-screen, because I thought on-screen was going to do the best out of the UK players, but I'm going to have to eat humble pie, I think, potentially at the end of this day, because he got almost double the kills of some of the other players, if not more on a few of the others. So I'm really impressed by his gameplay, as well as Orax. Is there any players from your side that you're a little bit surprised didn't perform as well as they should?
Actually, for me, it's the other way around. I thought Rumatra was really good in the beginning. Obviously, coming from Germany, I do have that, right? I do have that connection to some degree. But yeah, Rumatra, I felt like he was really strong in the beginning, and then he just kind of fell off. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if he was just lucky in the start, but I didn't feel like it. I actually thought he got pretty good shots off. But as opposed to Storm, and something I haven't really seen from the other players, is the way he uses that spraying ability, right? He's very accurate on walking and shooting, and that's something he apparently has picked up the fastest in comparison to all the other influencers we have right here. And that is something I've seen at the start from Rumatra, and that's why I'm bringing him up, but not that much towards the end. I think he ended on like maybe even close to double digits, but I don't think he just got there.
Yeah, and you know what? It wouldn't be fair if we didn't talk about the very beginning of that game. It was a bit of a meme fest. We saw them all camping in the corner, sitting on top of crates and just waiting. And this was obviously Team Frying Pan, who were waiting for their opponents to rush into their view site. And when they did, it didn't really go as well as planned. Or maybe it went perfectly for Storman, who walked out of that fray with 3 kills, which landed him in joint first place with all the other players.
Yeah, good observation. I think he got 3 or 4 eliminations out of that.
Yeah.
So while everyone else got 0 and had to respawn, he was, just sitting in the corner, having the time of his life. But I'd be much more interested in the voice comms from the enemy team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all sitting in one corner. I have no idea what to do. Obviously, there's no grenades or anything. So the first players were definitely in a very precarious situation. But they did handle it very well. The communication was definitely there. Otherwise, the reaction that really was incredibly fast would not have been yeah, wouldn't have been that accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking, like, how is this going to go down? Are they going to start spraying and no one's going to be able to enter into that? But unfortunately, with a game like this, and it's kind of like a Roman legion, what was it they called, like the turtle formation, where they have the shields over. Yeah. It was kind of that situation, but as soon as you have one weak link, you're screwed. Like, that's it, you're done for. And that's kind of what happened there.
Not being covered.
They started to fall down, and who were the last two at the very back? On screen and Stormen. I don't know if they planned that or not, but I think that's one question.
I actually kind of think they did plan that, so that's just the way I expect them to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, great game overall. I think we saw a lot of good action, and it wasn't too far apart either. I think 13 frags was the difference, like 80 to 67, I think, in the end. So the opportunity is definitely there for them to come back in game number 2.
Game number 2, that's going to be coming up very shortly. I am super excited to see, is it going to be the same players leading the charge? Are they still going to be using the same guns? I think so. I think that gentleman's agreement has been signed, and they're like, okay, Scar, that's all we're going to use within this. It's going to be on the same map. First 80 kills, and as I discussed during that first map, is that it's a limited resource, kills. You can only collect as many like within that 80 frames. So if one of your players gets 25 kills, that doesn't leave you with a huge amount of room. That's what, 45 kills left to be spread out across the other 6 players. That doesn't really add up. So taking out a huge chunk of the pie for himself, Stormen that is going to be kind of detrimental, and it leaves an opportunity for the other side to catch up, like Oryx or obviously any of the other players.
And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting right back into the game. Game number 2 is coming up. We once again do have Santorini, the beautiful map. Kind of looks like the weather here in Italy right now.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful outside and beautiful inside this map as well. And here we go. We're going to have 10 seconds warm up, and then we'll be diving into the action. And who else to look at than Stormen? He's got his Scar for the rest of the players. Are they going to do something funny like they did before?
I kind of hope for it. Maybe a different corner. I know, that would probably be too easy, but then again, Stormen did work out for him. Not sure if he was going to be leading the charge again, but it looks like it. He's got that first contact again, goes into the scope. This time around, he is deciding to use that scope. We haven't really seen him do that all that much.
Well, it's going to be...
It's worked out either way.
Inet with the first kill, so it's going to be pretty good for him. On screen with the second Chow. Going to fall down a little bit too early. Oryx, he's getting targeted, but he's going to be moving and dodging around the kills. Picks up one, and unfortunately going to fall down before he could pick up the following one.
I think that might have just been the first time that Team Chicken Dinner is actually leading. Right, it's 65 currently. I mean, it's very early in the map, but I don't think we've seen that in the first map all that much.
No.
Those 10 kills have almost been scored. Black Eyes has got a little bit of a problem getting that frag, and I think Araxi actually was the one stealing that away from him, who is, by the way, also on 4 eliminations, leading the charge for Team Chicken Dinner.
That's fairly good, but they do have 2 players with 0 kills, whereas on the opposite side, there's only Wylan Welted, aka Ruminatra, who only has 0 kills, which is a surprise, because you said you expected a lot, and here we go, he's going to be starting to pop off, but Kevsda steals that kill away from on screen. On screen going to be a little bit bitter about that. It's going to be turning around this corner. Look at the spray this opponent down. Gets the kill on Stormen.
Wow.
He wants to try and extend his lead. He's only got 3 kills at the moment into this round. 20 kills down on the Team Frying Pan already.
Looks better for on screen this time around. You call him a boomer, but you know, his starting abilities have definitely come into fruition now. His ambitions, I guess, for game number 2 as well. 6 eliminations, starting off really, really good. Does get taken down now, so maybe the opportunity for Stormen to catch up on him. Well, there's a lot of other players as well, now making moves for Team Frying Pan. Init is pretty good, Marcus as well, both on 3 frags at the moment. And oh my god, look at this on screen. He's on 7 now. What has changed? What has changed is the question.
Who knows? Maybe he woke up. He's had his cod liver oil tablets, and he's managed to warm himself up. And on screen, again, look at the fight of the opponents. It's going to be difficult to hit that headshot, but nonetheless, he's going to get backstabbed by another player. Araxi, he's still alive and kicking. 8 kills on the board, leading the charge alongside on screen. Overall, though, we do have obviously the most kills on the Team Frying Pan, and they're going to be wanting to get as many kills individually as they can. Volant, he's on 4. Not going to get any more. Stormen rather. Can he beat his previous score though? 25 kills is a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of, I don't want to say he's falling behind because he's still got that buffer, you know. He's he's got that many frags in game number 1 that doesn't really matter all that much if he isn't on the top spot in this game. But if I'd be in his shoes, I definitely want to make... I want to close the game, After game 2, if you're sitting in a comfortable position, you can almost do anything in game number 3. That's the position he wants to have for his community especially, because once again, whoever gets the most frags is going to be crowned the MVP of this All-Star Show match, and that means he's got another phone, an ROG Phone 6 to give away to his community. And I mean, what better way to say thank you, to the guys watching.
Yeah, he's only 2 kills behind on screen, and I think we could see him definitely pop off on this front. He's not going to be too far behind, but you know what? I'm fairly impressed with Team Chicken Dinner. They managed to bring it up to 37 kills. They're still going to be far behind. Kevster, he's going to be looking to do his best. He does for Orax. He's on 12 kills, back in the lead. Looking to pick up as many as possible. He's going to be spraying down on Stormin, but Stormin, that move!
What was that?
Ducks out of the way!
That is mental. That was so good. Did he actually slide away there? Stormin, what have you done? You have discovered mechanics that no one else has in this All-Star Show match. That actually reminds me of a couple of professional players playing the TDMs here. So Stormin, I don't want to say he's got a future in the competitive mobile industry just yet, but he's definitely getting there.
Yeah, he's playing pretty good. And you know what? He used to be a professional Apex player, and sliding in that game is one of the most main things. So I'm not too surprised. He was like, okay, I know how to shoot in this game. How do I actually slide? And that's exactly what he's done. And he's slow, but he's got all the way up to 12 kills. He's almost joint first place, well, joint second place with on-screen in regards to kills. Orax, he is popping off, and I'm not too surprised. He's an aggressive kind of player. He knows how to hit his shots. He knows how to play. But what was that? That turnaround onto Stormin.
Wow. Yeah, and you said it. He's an aggressive player. Obviously, he's been taking a very methodical, a very strategic kind of approach to this whole map. And you can see him. The very spot he's standing at right now, behind these boxes, that's his home. That's literally his home. He's been standing there the whole game. And whenever he dies, he's making his way towards these boxes. And it's also, it's a very interesting spot because essentially he only has to watch 2 ways, right? Behind him is the spawn. It's very unlikely anyone's going to come from that kind of direction. So what he does, he's always like taking turns on what position to look at. And because it's third person, he can look over the boxes really easily. So very smart, very good methodical approach coming in from Araxi. And he's leading the charge because of that. 16 eliminations. Not even Stormin can have a word about that.
But none of his teammates are in double digits yet. They're all stuck on 9 kills. And we've only got 5 kills left from the side of Team Frying Pan. So this is a short opportunity for the opposition of Team Chicken Dinner to be able to pick up at least 1 kill and a couple of players get to double digits. Otherwise, it's going to be Orax leading the charge with 17 kills. Stormin, he's only on 14. And that is it. GG, well played. Orax walking away with 17 kills, but only a 4-kill combo.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we had like a 10, I think we had a 10 combo last game. Not even Stormin is going to be able to have anything in that direction. I think 5 being the highest, it does speak volumes, right? The people are, the influencers right now in this game, they are getting used to the game, right? They are getting more familiar with the weapons, with the mechanics. We saw Stormin actually sliding around. I think that was probably one of the highlights we saw right there. Yeah. He's discovering mechanics no one else has. Honestly, that was pretty damn great. But I'm not surprised. I still think Stormin is in first place, though.
I think so. If we do the quick math, which is never a good idea on broadcast.
Never.
I'm not going to give away too much. I'm not going to overthink it. I think Stormin is still leading the charge. He got 25 kills in his first one. He just managed to get 15 or like 16 kills.
Something around that.
I think we have to talk about Orax, though. He's the person who could potentially lead the charge on his side. But otherwise, if we look on Team Frying Pan, there was multiple people with like 13 kills and 14 kills. And then over on the side of Chicken Dinner, there was only one other person who managed to make it into double digits. That's a big difference between those two teams. And you did say earlier on that it might be possible for a player who is fairly good at this game, better than his teammates, it's possible for him to get more kills than his other teammates. Do you think that's going to come into play right now?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we'll have to see. I think he's not necessarily better. He's just taking a very smart approach. As I said, Araxi's been around these boxes in that specific kind of area in Santorini, and that just speaks volumes to how experienced Araxi really is. I mean, he's been playing professional Battle Royale games for what feels like his entirety of his lifespan, right? He's been playing professional PUBG. He's been playing professional Apex. Also, I actually way back played against him in PUBG. Now, all I can say is he's mechanically incredibly gifted, and he has a very methodical approach that we literally saw in this very game. So I think, unless that changes, it's only going to get better from here. So Stormin, he does have to look out in terms of, getting towards game 3.
Yeah, and well, we saw the sliding around from obviously Storm, and being able to know when to do that. It's all down to being able to look at your phone and look at the screen. And so when we look at these kind of details on this new panel they're bringing onto this new phone, we also have a partnership between Qualcomm and also ROG, and it's one hell of an impressive one at that. They have 2 main features.
Yeah, one of which is the Adreno panel and the Auto VRS. And I talked about the panel and the refresh rate and all that stuff, but a smoothness, right? The smoothness and you know, a very precise kind of gaming experience, a very sharp kind of gaming experience doesn't really matter all that much. If your panel isn't just accurate, right? If you can't really see what you're shooting at, and well, with the ROG Phone 6 and these 2 unique features that are very much in the phone that we've celebrated today, it's not gonna matter, right? You won't have these problems. You will be having the advantage in game.
Yeah, and obviously one of the other main features within a phone or any kind of gaming is being able to hear where your opponents are, but also like where you are positioned as well in comparison. So it's great that they've been able to partner up once again with Snapdragon, and we're going to be hearing all about it into this next game, the final game, game 3, to decide who the MVP is going to be and send home one of you at home an ROG Phone 6. So let's jump into the action.
Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be down to these 14 influencers to finally make their mark. Last chance for them to finally take home the MVP prize, to be able to give away a phone towards their community. And for you at home, if you want to get your hands on that phone as well, there is an opportunity for you, right? As Asus is kind enough to sponsor 3 phones that are being given away in the chat, all you need to do is type hashtag ROG Phone 6 into the chat, followed by hashtag and then the name of the influencer you think is going to win. Obviously, right now there is, there is definitely a couple of favorites, so make sure to use that opportunity. Type hashtag ROG Phone 6 in the chat in whatever live stream you're watching, and obviously hashtag and followed by the name of the influencer to be able to participate in the giveaway. Use that chat, honestly. Genuinely incredible phone, use that chat.
I will just say, I love seeing the webcams of these different players, because you see them laughing, because in case you guys didn't realize, these are all players in the same chat on Discord here, is having a nice laugh. I'm just going to mention, we've seen 2 kills so far in this game. We are a minute into this. When are things going to kick off?
Yeah, apparently now. I mean, both teams kind of have been waiting for each other to make a move, but it does look like Team Frying Pan has that advantage now. They kind of very explosively went out of that group they kind of had at the start of the match. That's kind of the strategy that we're going for. And obviously Stormin once again opening up that game number 3. And there we have it, 5-6. Didn't work out too well. 6-8 now even. So Team Chicken Dinner is getting back into things.
Yeah, and well, you know what, Arx, he's only got 1 kill, but that's not really saying much. Most of the players have all the players have single digits, let alone more than 1. We've got Kevster leading the charge this time. I did see him having a nice laugh in his little camera, so hopefully we do see that again. And he's on 5 kills, so this is a player we haven't really highlighted too much. He's definitely one of the interesting ones. Obviously, he's in Team Frying Pan. On screen, Kevster and Marcos played last year in the ROG show match for the Phone 5. Now we're back on Phone 6. And he's one of the players I expected to do well. And this time round, he's taken a couple of matches, but he's come in there. He's finally learning the ropes.
Ooh, nice lurking position, actually, but he does get taken down by Stormin out of all the players. He's on 6 eliminations right now. It did look like Kevster is picking up the pace, but Stormin does come back right away. 6 eliminations again, so he sure as hell is probably in that 1 spot again. But Marcos, we see him here as well.
Oh.
Also, not doing too shabby in the first minutes of the game. 2.5 minutes being played. Already 22-19. Are we going to see finally a map win coming in from Team Chicken Dinner? I think that's kind of what we were hoping for. Right?
Yeah, you know what, I want to see it. Both of us were rooting for the German and the English on this team, just because, it kind of creates some fun banter. Yeah. But I think we do have some spicy players on the opposition. And Oryx, he's not really, going off on one this time around. It's Berry TV, who's managed to get 8 kills.
Yeah, Orexy, he does seem to have problems. Maybe he's just not getting towards his preferred spot. I mean, that could be an actual possibility, but instead it's Barry picking up the pace for his team. And he's been also having 2, I wouldn't say above mediocre, actually. He's been having 2 good games, essentially. the first 2 spots, but that isn't going to matter unless Storman finally stops fragging the head out of this lobby. He's on 9 again, he's leading the charge, and I'm sure the 10th isn't too far off.
I don't think so either. And I mean, it's crazy to me that coming into this, almost 4 minutes into the game, we're on 35 to 36. We've actually got the advantage on the side of Team Chicken Dinner, managed to pick up 2 extra kills above. Remember, only for 80 kills in total can be made, so 40 kills left pretty much in the game on either side. And it's looking a fairly average game. And if I'm Storman right now, sitting on 10 kills, the first to break double digits, I'm pretty happy. He got 25 kills, then 15 kills. He's looking fairly good for the MVP.
Absolutely, 100%. Interesting to see if his tactics is going to change now, but I mean, his incredibly aggressive kind of play style and like proactive initiative kind of approach to this game has been working out, so I doubt he's going to change that. Another frag for him. That's going to be Blackfire Eyes getting taken out. 43 to 44 now. Still the lead for Team Chicken Dinner, but that might just change.
I don't know if you saw that. He actually has an epic mustache as well. So if you guys haven't already seen, make sure to check that out when it does focus in on him. I think that's where he gets some of his power from. 14 kills, he is darting ahead, but not too far behind. It's going to be Berry TV, someone who's really impressed me coming into this game. He's on 11 kills, looking to try and tie up with even more. We have 5 minutes remaining, 30 kills on either side. There's not really too much time to really pop off, so we have to see some of these teams come out and get as many kills as possible.
Valim seems to be the only player really having difficulties getting to game number 3. He's only got 1 frag, actually. And yeah, that might actually be a big problem.
And just looking at any of these players, we can't see all the hands, but it looks like some of them are using slightly different grips. Maybe not the expert, like 4-finger weird.
Not quite.
They're definitely trying.
Yeah, they're definitely trying their best. As we can see on screen, we've already talked about it. He's, he's covered in some of the PUBG merch. He's in the right kind of mood, let's say like that. But then again, only 4 frags doesn't really help him all that much. 63 to 57, so Team Frying Pan has taken the lead again. But I do have to say, if you take a look at, well, the distribution of the kills, honestly, there's nothing else to say. And Storman is leading the charge. He's almost at 20, while everyone else is almost at half of his points or below that. Caps is the only one that can really kind of reach him, but then again, it's only 12 frags left in this round.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Storman right now, you're thinking, okay, well, I want to reach 30 kills, and it's now not possible. He can't get 30 kills. He can get 20, whatever. He can't even get close to 30 because there's not enough kills left. It is restricted. There's only 5 kills left to try and decide who's going to be the MVP. Contenders going to be Berry TV, On Screen, Kevstar, these kind of players who are up there in the double digits. Storman looking to chime up with his own. There's only 3 kills left here. Alex, that's it. That's game 3. That's a wrap. 8-kill combo for Storman.
And it's the same scoreline we had in the last game, I think. 18 to 67. One of you's been the exact same scoreline. At least a couple of higher combos, which we can see here. The 8 combo has been achieved, but Storman, what can you say about that one? Like he is just phenomenal at this game. For some reason, I talked about it. He has the kind of initiative and playmaking ability to maybe even pursue a couple of mobile competitive games. We'll see about that one. Definitely looked like it was a lot of fun to him.
Yeah, and I think some of the power comes from that mustache as well. It's perfectly fine for him to, it gives him extra power. He leans in and it helps control his character a little bit. Well, talking about Storman, we did just have it announced in our heads and also on screen is that the MVP winner was Storman. A little bit surprised. I mean, I didn't really expect him coming in here and to get an absolute, storm of kills and take a fully dominant performance in this, but nonetheless, GG, well played to him.
Yeah, and he's a UK represent as well, so you're going home smiling, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Unfortunately, the Germans, for me, didn't quite make the impression I had in mind. I mean, Ramacha did have his moments, I gotta say. He was reeling, by the way, in game, in case you haven't quite caught the name. But yeah, he did have his moments. He started off really strong, and then I'm not sure what happened. I'm going to have to talk to him. I'm not sure what was the problem. The phone definitely wasn't. Once again, everyone was playing on the ROG Phone 6, and we've talked about the specifications. 165 Hz from perfect gyro sensors to another 15 to 20% increase in in comparison to ROG Phone 5 that was launched last year. So that definitely wasn't the problem. I'm sure it probably came down to experience. in the end.
Yeah, and I just want to mention as a highlight for me was him sliding around.
Yeah.
I mentioned that he was obviously an ex-professional player in Apex, and I think that's probably where a lot of his experience comes from, was like, oh, where's the slide button? And he got used to that. But we are going to have an interview with him, the MVP himself, so I'm excited to ask him a couple of questions, how he felt about the phone, how he felt about the game in general.
And that's why I'd say, let's go right into the interview. We have the winner, the MVP that has won the phone to give away to his community. We have Stormen coming up.
How are you feeling, Stormen?
I'm doing good. Thank you. After those games, for sure.
What fantastic mustache you have there, mate.
Thank you.
Couple of questions to you. You won the MVP challenge. Was that expected? How are you feeling? How hyped are you to actually win the phone?
I mean, it wasn't expected for sure. I haven't really been playing PUBG Mobile too much, so I'm excited to get those results in. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, 25 kills. That's pretty impressive. And obviously, PUBG Mobile is the first game you managed to download on that new phone. But what's going to be the second one you download?
Diablo Immortal, maybe?
Well, fair enough. I mean, that's definitely going to be one hell of a game. And I mean, obviously, 25 kills in a game, I just have to say, for someone who isn't that well experienced in PUBG Mobile, it was a pretty impressive feat, and you were able to slide around the map as you felt.
Yeah, really interesting. I gotta say, you discovering a couple of mechanics no one else really has in that lobby. But coming back to the games, who do you think was the toughest opponent you faced? Because it felt like you were in control a lot of the time. Like, for the longest time, I think you were kill leader. But generally, when you were rocking around the map, who was the toughest opponent?
I think Chow. He kept... I remember there was one time where he was proning, holding my angle. So I gotta say Chow.
Well, coming in from France, Chow, definitely the right kind of player to be scared of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was definitely an impressive gameplay from all the opponents. I mean, Orax and Chow were absolute beasts. And I think we have maybe one more question. I think you had a superb question you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely, Stormen. Was that a moment in time you knew you were going to win? Because I already said before, it felt like you were in control of the situation during the majority of these games. You weren't, I mean, after the first game already, we were already astonished at how good you actually picked up the game, right? The learning curve was incredible for you. Was there a moment you knew you were going to win?
It's got to be the tactic we did in the first game, the absolute first start of the game. Right there, I knew we were going to win for sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Stormen, joining us today in the studio. And obviously, have fun, not only with the phone for yourself, but obviously for the phone you want for your community. Make sure you give that away and, well, have fun. Nice rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too, man. Thank you.
Well, that was fantastic. One hell of a session of gaming. We had 3 back-to-back games, really showing off the power of this wonderful powerhouse. There you go, nice little screenshot for any of you out there. And obviously, this is the ROG Phone 6. And if you haven't already, make sure to go spam that chat with the hashtags, as mentioned earlier on by Alex. But I think that's about it from us, isn't it?
I think that's about it. Once again, huge thank you to Asus. Actually, you were talking about the sponsors for making that possible. Once again, write hashtag ROG Phone 6 into the chat, followed by hashtag and your favorite influencer. I mean, we already saw who's gonna pick up the phone to give away to his community, but still, make sure to participate in the giveaway, and the winners will be selected. 3 phones, once again, being given away by Asus, so make sure to participate. And yes, once again, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching at home. These were 30 minutes of action-packed influencers and their show match, and I think we've given you a good taste of what this phone can actually accomplish, what are the advantages of it, and how far you can go with this inside the competitive space. Make sure to check it out, ROG Phone 6. That's it from us. Thank you for watching.